Hi, welcome to the Lunapod, where we talk all things K-pop. I'm Raquel.
I'm Brooke.
We got to see ATEEZ.
An ATEEZ, this one's for you.
So let's start off talking about our pre-concert experience. We decided this concert we were going to make freebies.
Yeah, this is our first concert making freebies.
If you're unfamiliar with what a freebie is, it's basically when fans make little doodads and hand them out for free.
Yeah, they might be like little photos or charms, keychains, things that you can either attach to your outfit or bag while you're at the concert or just save for later.
We've gotten a lot of freebies when we go to concerts. Some concerts are so many freebies.
Yes, like I've gotten there was some concerts where I got like 5.
Yeah, the same. And I feel like ATEEZ, we got quite a few, actually.
Yes.
But we decided to make freebies to hand out as well. So we started off way before the concert. What was it, weeks before?
Yeah.
Months before, maybe even?
We probably bought the items like months before, but
making them, we were
procrastinated and didn't make them probably till a week before, I'd say.
So we started making freebies. We decided to make little keychains with beads of members' names on it. Super cute. It was a lot of fun making them, to be honest. We were posting about making the freebies. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can go check it out on TikTok. But we were making the freebies and people started requesting certain names, which is amazing. Love that. But we did not expect
not at all.
Many people.
It was crazy. And I started to feel really, really bad about it because I started taking note of who was requesting what, but then we didn't make nearly enough for the amount of people who were wanting requests.
Yeah, we made 50 freebies. We made so many, but it was not enough.
Yeah. So I think next time it's probably better to say hey, we're going to be here, because it was a lot.
It was so much. But it's also online. People were wanting very specific members' names, but then when we got there in person, people were wanting different members. So it was a very interesting experience.
Yeah, it was interesting to see who was the most requested.
Yeah, it was a very interesting thing.
Another thing that we planned out before the concert was to get our first light stick. We were so nervous that the store was not going to have any, and we were going back and forth between version 1 and version 2 because the second one came out really not that long before our concert, I think.
And it's pretty, don't get me wrong, but the version 1 of Lightini,
so pretty.
It's gorgeous, and I love the little side accents. We still might go get version 1. It's incredible. But version 2 is what was available, and so we have a K-pop store nearby that we were keeping tabs on, trying to figure out when they were going to get these light sticks in.
And I think I just happened to stop by after work one day randomly.
Your instinct told you to
Yes, I did. I felt it in my bones, in my 18 bones. And I immediately called you. I called you so many times. Yeah. I rushed in here and I woke you up and I was like, we need to go back and get you your light stick because I couldn't afford both. And so, but they closed. They closed pretty early.
Yeah, they closed really soon after you left.
Yeah, we went back the next day though and got it.
Bought our Lightinies with cash. As one does. Like a little deal under the counter.
I felt so rich in the moment.
Honestly though, getting those light sticks was the best decision. I don't regret that at all. Now flash forward to the day we head to the airport. We call our Uber, we get ready, we're heading out because we've driven to Atlanta before. We were seeing ATEEZ in Atlanta, and the drive is just, it's terrible.
It's horrible. It's so long.
It's so bad, and we have such a bad experience with driving there. We'll get more into this too when we talk about our other concert reviews that we went to Atlanta for. But for this one, we decided absolutely no driving. We are flying over there. So we Ubered, we get to the airport. It's a normal experience. Head to Atlanta. And then the Atlanta airport we discover is a disaster. It's terrible there. It's huge.
It's very confusing.
And oh my gosh, first of all, we walked for probably 15-20 minutes just to get to the end.
The train was down and we had to walk so far.
Yeah, so there's people trying to get on this shuttle train and it's just fully stopped and they are packed shoulder to shoulder in this train just sitting there. And on top of it, all of the elevators were broken. And so the wheelchairs were in a line. They were trying to get people up a single elevator in the airport.
There was no room in the elevator either. No. One wheelchair could fit in at a time and I felt bad because having to take forever to get those people up.
It was a mess. Atlanta airport was an absolute disaster.
We don't like her.
Not a fan. Not a fan at all. But eventually we got to the place where our Uber could pick us up and we Ubered to the venue. We bought VIP for this concert. Sector VIP. The one above us was ATEEZ VIP. We decided to go with Sector, but we had no prior information about how to do any of this. This is our first VIP concert, mind you. So we also had no idea in general how to go about VIP.
Really no idea what to expect.
No. And then on top of it, the venue did not give any information.
Well, they sent things out, but it was incorrect.
Yeah.
They said to show up at 10 o'clock, and that's when we would start lining up. And there was like absolutely no camping. I'm like, these are K-pop stands. How are we not camping out? But I mean, it so happened because we got there, I don't even know what time.
It was like 10:30.
Early. Yeah, like early 10. And there was already a massive line looping behind the building.
So we were kind of just following the crowd. We got into the sector VIP line, or we assumed was the sector VIP line, and started waiting. Georgia was freezing.
It was so cold.
Oh, it was the end of November, which again normally would make sense for it to be cold, but us being from Florida, we don't know how to do that.
We were not ready for it.
No.
And we weren't just waiting outside. We were waiting on the freezing cold sidewalk.
Because the concert's not till like 7 p.m. or something like that.
Yeah.
We go in a little bit early for VIP, but we're sitting camping basically from 10 o'clock on the freezing cold cement.
Until about, I think they started checking around 3.
All I know is we were sitting on that sidewalk for hours.
It was
handing
so
out,
long.
It was so long. We were handing out freebies, which was fun, helped pass the time. But since we flew there, and since the arenas don't let in big bags, we had these tiny little bags, and we were using an emergency blanket, this thin, shining tinfoil blanket wrapped around us as people were coming up. We're like, hey, if you want freebies, come find us in the shining gold blanket. But, you know, it worked out. Finally, the time came where we stood up and we started lining up for VIP to get our lanyards, to get our wristbands.
This is when it became a total mess.
Oh, so you think it was a mess before?
So we went to get our lanyards, and there was like a table where we went to, but then a table up the hill. Don't know what that was.
No idea.
It was just there, but people were being sent there. Okay. And then after we got our lanyards, we went into a separate line that mixed with a teeny VIP, I believe.
Yeah.
And we went through security. Everyone's freaking out at this point because nobody has their concert outfit on. Basically everybody planned to change, and nobody knew if we were going to be able to come out from this security line or not, or get back in. Like, it was so confusing, and people were saying different things.
Yes, and we were all starving because, again, none of us knew when we were going to start lining up, so no one went and got food. And then rumor starts spreading around like wildfire that we will not be able to leave this line once we get in there. And so everyone's panicking. There are people by us who are taking turns booking it to their cars to go and get their outfits, and we have our outfits in our bags, and we're like, well, I guess we're just gonna change in the line, because what are we supposed to do? And again, just terrible communication. They didn't let anybody know anything. So we're in this line. They start filing us in to, I kid you not, a parking garage.
Like, not just a parking garage, an underground parking garage.
We are literally lined up in like a little snake formation throughout this entire parking garage, and it's so funny.
It's November. It's cold.
It's freezing, and it's so loud. You can hear the train going above us, and it rocks
like
and shakes the entire garage, and it's wild. So we use our little emergency blanket. We have some other ATEEZ, love you if you know who you are, helped us set up this little changing station, and we get changed into our outfits.
We were luckily up against a wall, so like we just had a hole in front of us. Like,
so we changed into our concert outfits, and it was insane. We were just waiting. Again, no communication in this line. No one could leave the parking garage. We were just...
And there was no bathroom down there either.
No.
And I don't remember how long we were down there, but I'm like, that's a really long time without proper communication on what's going on. Because I swear, originally when the rules came out, they acted as if you would wait in line, get your lanyard, go away, and then come back at 4 or something like that to line up to enter.
I feel like that's what normal concerts do.
It was a mess.
So finally, the time goes by though, and people start freaking out. I'm telling you though, the energy, even though we were in this parking garage, the energy was so high. People were so excited, and everyone was taking pictures and talking, and it was really exciting. Like, so the energy was getting up.
And like the second that line moved, everyone's freaking out, like getting so excited.
It was amazing. As we were standing up and moving, I ended up getting a phone call from one of my, I believe it was my insurance or something like that. And it was so loud because, again, we're in a parking garage, so everything's echoing and everyone's screaming because we're starting to move. And I'm like, listen, I need to call you back. I am about to go into a concert. And they're like, oh, I'm
this
so
is
sorry.
not the time.
They're like, have so much fun at your concert. And I'm like, yeah, I will. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
So anyway, we finally file in, and they're telling us, don't run, nobody running. Like, no.
Yeah, that was a very strict rule, and I was not risking that because I was trying to get as close as possible.
Yes, but people ran, of course.
Yeah.
People were running, but we were like hand in hand, booking it.
I held your hand. I sped walked for my life.
Oh yeah, we sped walked. And we got up to the stage. We were like 4 or 5 rows back. You could see the stage in its full glory.
Yes.
We were so excited. That was my personal first experience ever being that close to a stage. VIP is so cool. We spent a lot to be at that concert, but I honestly don't regret
definitely worth it. Like, I'm so happy we did that for them.
Yeah, it's amazing. They're one of my favorite groups, so that was a no-brainer being that close to them.
I think after we were in there for an hour and a half, at least, that's when they came out for sound check. That was the most surreal moment of my life.
Oh,
that was
amazing.
fake. It felt like a dream.
And they did 3 songs during soundcheck. They did Say My Name, Illusion, and My Way. But they came out in their little casual clothing.
Yeah, it was really cute.
It was so cute. And some of them had their makeup and hair done already, but they weren't in their full concert gear yet. So it felt really just like a little, hey friends, we're popping in.
Usually there's the no phone rule during soundcheck. Basically everyone had their phone out. We kept our phones up, and it was just really nice. Just fully experience the concert with no other distraction, because I knew during the concert my phone would be out.
Oh yeah.
So like during soundcheck, I kept that away.
Yes, I also didn't want to risk anything, because technically you're not supposed to have your phones out during soundcheck.
Yeah, I was not getting
Wasn't
kicked
gonna
out.
risk. No, which everyone did, but I'm glad we did not. And I just have to say, Hongjoong was so cute during this sound check.
He just kept checking up on us. It was really sweet.
He did. At one point, he was like, "How's your condition? Good?"
It was adorable.
So cute. And he was just applauding our energy already in sound check. He was, "Wow, you guys, your energy is so up." And at one point,
like telling us to save our energy.
Yeah, he was like, "Don't dance too much, save, we've still got the main show." But also, Yo-song during this sound check was giving it his all.
He was.
Like, boy, you still have a whole concert. Don't spend all your energy on us yet either. But sound check was such a cool experience. But then we get to the actual concert.
It was the most... They started off with New World. That's like that was intense.
That was intense. They come out in cloaks. They're all masked up. They're walking
I wanted
in
to wear a
sync.
cloak so bad.
Same. We were talking about this before the concert of how cool it would be as a fan project if every ATEEZ showed up in cloaks, so when the lights turn on, the entire crowd is just cloaked up.
It would be very fitting for them.
It would be. So we're not going to be going through every song that they performed, but we're going to be talking kind of about the members and fun moments that happened and stuff like that. So to start this off, Hongjoong. Captain Hongjoong. This man's stage presence is insane. And seeing his face, he's always been really good at facial features on stage, but seeing this in person,
he's an amazing performer.
He is. Oh, he is amazing. He was just a joy to watch. And honestly, it's so funny watching him because he'll get kind of jealous. Like, he'll see people recording other people when he's like right in front of you, and he's a little grumpy about it. He's like, I'm right in front of you, pay attention to me. Which rightfully so, Hongjoong, I apologize for any time my camera was not on you, okay? Which my camera was mostly focused on Songhwa. He is my bias, honestly. He's a borderline alt bias for me at this point, and so I was starstruck by him, but I apologize, Hongjoong.
And mine was mainly focused on Son, because he's my bias. But Mingi, there is always one member. Every concert I go to, there's always one member that I know is going to be an issue. I'm prepared, I think. And then I go in there and they just wreck the heck out of you. And it's bad. Like, I knew this was going to be one of the worst ones. Mingi was bad. His middle name's Trouble. Listen, like, Son's my bias, but I cannot keep my eyes off of him.
No.
He's so good.
I'm not a Mingi bias either, but every time that man came close to us...
Oh, and his hair. Are you kidding me?
Oh, his hair. His hair was the
had
orange and yellow
Yes.
fire hair. It's just amazing. My appreciation for Mingi skyrocketed after this concert. Don't get me wrong. I love every single member of ATEEZ so much, but there's things that happen in person, and when you see them live, which, side note, they are gorgeous. You see the pictures, you're like, wow, these are some attractive men. Seeing them in person is insane. They are so much more attractive, if that's even possible.
And people will look completely different than what you expected to. You watch music videos or photos. Wooyoung looks so different to me.
Yeah, he did. Still insanely attractive, don't get me wrong. But yeah, he looked very different in person than what I expected. Not in a bad way at all. Wooyoung, love you to death. Also, you little sassy guy up on this stage, he's doing all of these moves. He's moving like he's got no bones, which Wooyoung, we could tell during this concert, he was a little bit off. He was still giving us a great performance, and we found out a couple weeks later that his grandfather passed away shortly after this concert. So that's definitely understandable as to why he was a little bit more reserved at some points in this concert, but he was still giving us
for him to give that much energy
despite
for a concert, like, with what's going on, it was memorable. One of the cutest freaking moments
Oh, this is something that went viral. It happened at our concert.
Yes.
We saw it with our own eyes.
So if you've seen it on TikTok or Twitter, it was our show.
We were there.
During Wave, Seonghwa completely just forgot to do the choreo. Like, he was just on the corner of the stage interacting with fans and like just doing his own thing. He
was so cute.
It was adorable.
And the other members were doing the choreo and looking over at him and dying laughing.
They were laughing at him so hard.
They were kind of trying to get his attention, but they were also dancing to Wave, so they didn't have the time to get over and be like, hey, Seonghwa, we're supposed to be dancing right now. But finally, Seonghwa like turned and noticed and burst out laughing and like ran to the back.
He was so embarrassed.
He was so embarrassed, and everyone was so smiley and like laughy. It was so cute, and they finished the choreography. I've got videos because again, we were so close. They were right there, so I have the cutest videos of him doing the choreo, and he's got the biggest smile on his face as he's finishing the choreo. And then afterwards, they all ran up to him and bugged him about it.
He like kept apologizing to us. We're like, no, that was adorable.
Well, even San on stage was like, no, it was cute. It was so
Nobody was
cute.
mad about it.
No, it was such an adorable moment. I love him.
Something that was not cute, Cyberpunk. That was one of the main spoilers I got from the concert that you couldn't avoid.
You could not avoid the choreo that came with Cyberpunk.
That was too viral.
Yeah.
There's no, anytime you went on Twitter, it was there.
Yeah.
Like, right in my face.
Which, again, though, even after the spoilers in person, it was that much more amazing. So I'm not necessarily mad about the spoilers, but, Cyberpunk. They started this. Everyone jokes about how they paid for a pirate strip club instead of a concert. I'm not even joking you. That's what this was.
That's what Cyberpunk was.
That was Cyberpunk.
We met people at the airport that were going to the concert, and we're like, what's your biases? And I said, San. They're like, oh. They were like scared for me. I'm like, yeah.
Like, we're sending you our, sending you luck. The entire song, the intro of it, but the entire song was just...
Like, some of my favorite videos were from that performance.
Yeah. Yes, and vocals. That song, we were obsessed with that song before even learning any of the...
Yeah, that was definitely one of our favorites from that album.
Yeah. I think ATEEZ in general really loved Cyberpunk. Anytime I saw a fan call, they were like, hey, you're performing Cyberpunk, right? And they were all like, maybe, I don't know. We also need to talk about Yeosang being one of the most attractive people I've ever seen.
Yes.
First of all, this man's muscles were glowing.
I feel like he's more muscular than you expect.
And he's toned. It was like looking at a statue, hand-carved statue.
So pretty.
Oh
and
my
like,
gosh.
Whenever I first got into them, he was originally one of my wreckers and then just wasn't.
Yeah.
And then like it became more so Mingy, and then I got to the concert and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeosang.
I'm like, this made sense. Why did I leave this?
That man.
The girl in front of us, that was her bias, like to the death. So I was excited for her. She was living.
Congrats, little 18-y. Another really cute moment that happened is there was one time where they're sweating. Obviously, they're dancing like crazy. ATEEZ's set list and their choreo is so intense. And so they're up there dancing so hard for so long. And so they're sweating. And Wooyoung is over there with a towel wiping off Sun's sweat on his face and then throws the towel on him. And Sun just stands there with this towel over his head for a second. Just a really cute moment.
Another cute moment with Son was during My Way, the part that they're like, we can do everything, like that part. They do this certain choreo, a few of them, but Son was so completely left out and just by himself. He like was pouty.
He was jealous.
He was. Like immediately after, he's like, y'all left me. He usually does it with, and Wooyoung, but they completely left him out, ignored him, and so...
He was pouting.
Yeah.
Full on pouting.
And he made a complete scene out of this.
Yeah.
But Hongjoong said he'd do it with him the next day.
It was so cute. He was like, next time come to me because Jongho ignored me during that part too. Hongjoong was also jealous that Jongho totally dismissed him during this moment that they have for fan service. So he's like, Son, tomorrow, come on up. Speaking of Jongho though, that boy's mic was on.
As it should be.
As it should be. We talk about, as a fandom, Jongho's vocals all the time. I'm not even kidding you. Hearing those vocals live is insane. He is
like,
so good.
There was never a time. Like, sometimes we'll get strained, but he did not once.
Nope. That man was just belting every time, hitting every note, and you could tell that mic was on. He was not lip singing at all.
It was crazy.
Which I know he's very prideful of not lip singing a majority of the time. Sometimes you have to, but that was on. His mic was on. We also need to give some appreciation to, he had such a calming presence to him, first of all, and he's also stunning.
He really is.
Yeah.
Like, he's usually one that I appreciate, but I just never sat there and thought of it, I guess. And there was just a moment during the concert where he came to our side a lot, I feel like. And so I was just staring at this man, and honestly, I'm gonna say the hair helped because he had that kind of like a
lighter
dirty,
brown.
yeah, like a dirty blonde with a little bit of like blonde highlights or just something like that. And it was just so cute. That's like one of my favorite hairstyles ever.
It fits him so well.
Yeah, it was. And just, I don't know, like every time he came to our side, it was just very comforting.
Yes.
Loved him.
I gained so much appreciation for him during this concert. I always liked him. He was always very boyfriend material to me.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Yeah, and love, but after this concert too, appreciation skyrocketed for him.
One of the moments that allowed me to appreciate him even more was when they performed I'm the One Topping Ver.
That was
First
amazing.
of all, that was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I had never heard the topping version of I'm the One before. I didn't know that existed.
So good. And he came up to our side of the stage, and like I just have this very specific video I took from the concert. Wow, look at this man. So that's one of my favorite videos I even took. I mean, yes, Mingi came up later, but that was insane.
Another thing that happened with this was such a cute moment with and Ooyoung. Towards the end, they came out in, again, casual concert merchandise.
Their merch shirts.
Yeah. And Ooyoung had this big hat on that was covering a majority of his face.
Like the biggest bucket hat I've ever seen.
And all the members were kind of teasing him about it. They're like, can you see? Like, where's your eyes? But he was over on our side of the stage, and comes up and peeks around underneath the hat from behind him and is looking up and like grinning at him, and Ooyoung is like all embarrassed and like covering his face. All of their interactions were so cute. It was truly like they came straight out of their videos and were right there. Like they are just very much themselves, and I really love that. Another fun little thing that happened at our concert was the light stick guys. So
they were so funny.
Yes. Now, what I mean by that is there were these ATEEZ who dressed up with glow sticks on their body.
Glue them, tape them to their outfit.
But they looked like a glowing stick figure up in the crowd. It was so funny. They pointed them out multiple times up on the stage. They were like, "Whoa, look at them!" And they even interacted with them during one part of our concert where they had the light sticks change colors.
Yes, that was so cute. So I guess they kind of had them do a dance move from a song, and then they changed the light sticks to the color of their glow sticks.
Yeah,
it was so cute.
Love that for those ATEEZ. That was so creative of you. There was also one time where they were doing more little shenanigans up on the stage, and Jongho was in full actor mode, and it was so funny because he kept messing up the lines, and so he'd restart the whole thing. He's like, nope, and would
try to act like it did not happen.
Yeah, and would go back, redo it. Honestly, someone cast him in a drama because full actor Jongho. Might take a couple of tries, but he'll get there.
And he was literally just so funny because there was a time where we just made rounds of making people act sexy. And so we were chanting his name, and I think he just like took Mingi's glasses from him and stuck them in his mouth. Like, it was just hilarious.
It was so funny. Very sexy of him. Good job, Jongho. And Mingi afterwards, because the glasses had been in his mouth.
He did not want those back.
No, it's so funny. Basically, the concert went by so fast.
It did.
So fast.
I just want to say, seeing Gorilla live, the crowd.
Oh, the energy.
Just chanting and yelling "break the wall."
Yeah,
that was so loud.
Yes, like we talked
about. It was amazing. Like that was definitely one that we were most excited to see performed.
This whole comeback was so incredible. We were so excited for it in general. But yeah, Gorilla, we've talked about fan chants before. This was one of those times where you are in awe at the power of the fans. The entire concert, ATEEZ's energy was through the roof. They did really amazing in Atlanta day one. But yeah, Gorilla was unreal.
Like honestly, out of the whole experience, I would say the only like tiny negative was they did not perform Deja Vu.
Oh, yeah.
But honestly, if they did, I would be dead right now.
Same. Yeah, we would
not be recording this.
No, in a way we were kind of grateful because I don't know if I could handle all of that and Deja Vu on top of it. Deja Vu was the first video from ATEEZ that I ever watched. And so, first of all, I think it is one of their best songs to date. Best choreo to date. Yes. And I love that song, have an emotional attachment to it. So kind of upset that we didn't get to see it. But honestly, that just means that we're going to be at their next concerts until they perform it again. I can't wait to see y'all again. But anyway, flash forward to post-concert. We got an Uber. We needed to get food. We had not eaten this entire day.
We were starving.
Oh my gosh.
We really didn't eat the entire day.
No, because again, with the whole mess that happened before the concert, no one got to eat. So we were starving.
I think we had Starbucks.
Yeah, maybe.
Like at the beginning of the day.
At the airport.
And that was it.
So we got an Uber. We went to go get food. Everywhere was closed because it is so late. It was probably 11 p.m. p.m., maybe 12 at this point. And so everywhere was closed. So we got our Uber to this one place. They were closed. So we had to walk across this street to the most sketchy gas station I've ever seen in my life to get snacks and a drink.
And like they were about to close.
Yeah, it was crazy. Atlanta, what are we doing closing that early?
I know. And so we got an Uber to the airport. We had to wait 10 hours until we could fly home. I literally could have died.
See, now I took the cheap route out and I slept a majority of that time in the airport.
Yeah, I can't sleep like that.
Yeah.
Like I was just really uncomfortable. The chairs aren't.
Oh no, it was
like,
terrible.
I can't.
I had
My
terrible
body
sleep.
wouldn't let me. And I would fall asleep occasionally. Oh, was that 2 hours? No, it was 20 minutes, babe. Like, like that did not last long. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this was a learning experience on top of everything.
Definitely.
But it was a long time that we spent in that airport. You know, it's another experience to add to our bad traveling back home experiences from concerts, which again, stay tuned for our upcoming concert reviews to hear more about our fun travel experiences. But eventually the plane came and we got home and we slept. And basically, ever since that concert, we have had post-concert depression.
Major.
I miss ATEEZ so much.
Like, anytime we watch their videos, we're like, oh, I just want to be back at the concert.
Yeah. Or if we watch the videos that we took and we're like, I cannot believe we were that close to them. We saw them in person.
I would have never expected that of us. Like, I've always, like, imagined their concert. And it's one of those things, oh, like, I want to be so close. But you just don't expect to actually be able to do it. I'm very glad we were able to.
We were actually there. We were actually that close. I could go on for 6 hours talking about how angelic and beautiful Songhwa was in person, but I am just shocked about it. Every single time I see him, I'm like, wow, I saw that man with my own eyeballs. Oh, they were amazing. To wrap up this episode, ATEEZ is an absolute powerhouse. They are, in my personal opinion, top of K-pop. And I'm not just saying that because they're an alt group for me. They're genuinely such amazing performers. They're amazing artists. They have incredible vocals, incredible stage presence. Their personalities are so fun and so welcoming, and I love them so much. I don't know what else to say.
Like, I was thinking about it earlier. Honestly, they're like aces K-pop.
They are.
They, like, every single one of them just honestly kills it and never disappoints.
Yeah, it's very true. I found my bias in ATEEZ immediately. But if that was not the case, I would probably be OT with them because they are all amazing. Cannot express how incredible every single member of ATEEZ is. If you are listening to us and you're just listening to this episode and have no idea who ATEEZ is, first of all, stay tuned because we are going to be doing a group chat episode talking all about ATEEZ, but I really recommend you go and get to know these boys. It is completely worth your time. And so as a final little send-off here, as we are sitting in our living room, missing ATEEZ tremendously.
On Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day. We're recording on Valentine's Day. ATEEZ, we love you so, so much, and we cannot wait to see you when you come around again. And I hope to see Deja Vu on your set list. Now it is time for our song of the moment. This episode we have
Sugar Rush Ride by TXT.
So good.
I was so not expecting this whatsoever from them. It's a siren song.
It is an absolute siren song. I love the direction that K-pop is headed right now with their
like ethereal. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah, I don't know, like ethereal.
Like I feel like I'm transcending.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit like a mushroom transcendence, but
yeah, and like even during their promo photos, I was like, this is giving like low-key Beatles.
Yeah.
So that's like the route I was hoping we were going with this little like psychedelic, and we went there and I love it.
Yeah. Oh, psychedelic, that's the word. TXT, Temptation, Sugar Rush Ride. If you have not heard it, make sure you check it out. It is totally worth your time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, you can find us on any social media, including Twitter and TikTok at thelunapod, or if you want to keep the most up-to-date with what we're doing, our shenanigans, behind-the-scenes content, all of the fun stuff, make sure to check us out at thelunapodcast on Instagram. You can also head over to YouTube at thelunapod to see our vlogs, reviews, and so much more. We'll see you next time. Bye!